Alright, hi guys, it's Gray's Princess, and I'm doing another book review, which, if you watch my dirty blogs, you'll probably already know that this is coming. And, yeah. I don't have a book hardcover copy to hold up for you again this time, because I read this book on the Nook. And, the book was Artemis Fowl, The Last Guardian. And, I'm probably gonna talk a lot today, because Artemis Fowl is a series that I grew up with. I've been reading it since at least 5th grade. I'm not sure. It may have been longer. And it's just, like, it's one of those series that was, like, very close to me for quite a long time, and so I've got lots of feelings about it, and you'll just have to listen. I'll try to keep it sane. That's definitely saying something. Yeah, get to that later. I will say this, the main blog, or main video, as normal, will not have spoilers for the book I am reviewing. The bonus video will have spoilers for the book I'm reviewing. However, this one will probably have spoilers for the other 7 books in the series. So, if you haven't read those, I do recommend the series as a whole, I'll say that. I'm not going to go into too much detail before I get to my actual book review, but yeah. If you haven't read the whole series, you probably don't want to watch this video until you have. Those of you who came from my Hello World blog, where I used to do book reviews, probably saw the review I did for the 7th Artemis Fowl book, because that was actually the first book review I did on that blog, and the one that started this whole thing, so that's kind of exciting. Yeah. If you saw that, you probably know I have spent the last 2 years not particularly happy with Eoin Colfer. And there's just various reasons that I don't want to get into right now, but I will say that that kind of tinted the way I read this book. But I was just like, you know, this is the last book in a series I grew up with. It's always been very important to me, and I need to read it for my own sake. So I got it, and I read it, and yeah. So, for a summary, if you've read the series, again, this is going to make more sense. Basically what happens is Artemis Fowl's, one of his arch enemies, if you will, Opal Cowboy, uses the one from the present, ends up working with the one from the past to release her from prison. And so she's got this whole nother plot again. And the plot involves, the first step is to release these fairy warriors who have been, like, living as, well, not really living, they were dead, but they were spirits that were just, like, lying dormant for 10,000 years, in the hope to protect the fairy race. And she succeeds in resurrecting those, and one of the things that they do, this is all on the back cover, or like the Barnes & Noble synopsis, so I'm not really giving anything away here that they wouldn't give away to you. What they do is they end up possessing any, living bodies, or dead bodies, honestly, within, the area, which includes Juliet Butler and Artemis Fowl's 4-year-old twin brothers Miles and Beckett. So that, of course, is a very driving thing in the series. And the second phase of her plan basically involves the total annihilation of the human race in order to crown her as Fairy Queen. I'm gonna take a drink of water, I'm sorry. And so the book, of course, kind of focuses on, you know, the general normal gang, Artemis and Holly, and Butler and Mulch and Foley, and trying to stop Opal. Pretty standard for the series, you know. So that's the summary. It was the last book in the series. It was very much written in the way that you could tell it was the last book in the series, I'll say that. And, one of my first thoughts is, if it's the last book in the series, I really prefer when you put acknowledgments at the end of it. I like acknowledgments at the end of any book, honestly. I enjoy hearing who the author likes to thank, like who's helped them through the journey. But I feel like if it's the end of a series, especially a big, prolific series like Artemis Fowl, you really need to have that there. And there weren't any. And that really disappointed me, because it just ended, and then it was over. And I didn't even get to hear the author's heart and things, which, yeah, not gonna get ranting right now, sorry. So that was one thought. My main thought with the book is that not a whole lot of action-y stuff happened. It just wasn't very exciting. I mean, like I said, I read it in 2 days, but that's because it was a 202-page book on the Nook. So, not very long. It was just a really quick read, was the thing. And, yeah, that was kind of disappointing because I was hoping for more excitement than what I got. But, yeah, it got kind of exciting toward the end, but that wasn't enough for me, I feel. Parts of the book I really liked. I'm not gonna sit here and just talk about how much I didn't like it, because there were parts I really did like. Can't really go into too much detail about that. Maybe in the bonus video I will, but largely I was not incredibly impressed with this book. One of the things I was kind of sad about was Foley's wife Cabeline was finally introduced, but she had a very minor part, and once it was over, she was gone. And the ending, in my opinion, was not great. There's probably other people who thought it was wonderful, but I felt like it was kind of a cop-out. And if you've read the book, bonus video, I'm definitely going to be talking about this. I also felt like it was shoddy logic for a genius, but like I said, I can't say anything more, so... And it was predictable. It was predictable. I had it predicted from, like, chapter 2, so... Yeah. Oh, the other thing. Romantic false leads. I have this thing about romantic false leads. I'm okay with romantic leads, A, if they go somewhere, B, if they don't go somewhere, but they're very, very subtle. I actually enjoy more than just about anything. C, if they don't go somewhere, even if they're blatant, I'm okay with it if it's resolved at the end. Like, they talk about it and move on with life. But, yeah. This book fell squarely in D, which is the one I don't like when, you know, it's blatant and it's all over the place and then it's just dropped and never mentioned again. And if you've read the series, we have Artemis and Holly's kiss in the 6th book. We have the whole Orion deal in the 7th book, which, yeah, opinions on that. But, you know, it was there. It was quite obvious there was something going on there, at least on one side at any time. And you can explain that away any way you want to, but you can't just leave it unresolved, and it got left unresolved, and not mentioned at all beyond, oh, hey, you're my best friend. And I was like, this is not okay. And I feel like that's one thing Eoin Colfer has trouble with. What with Juliet vanishing for like 3 books early in the series without more than like a sentence mention, and with the whole deal with Minerva being a huge deal in the 5th book, and in the end even of that book, Butler's like, oh, she keeps asking about you, and then she's never, ever even remotely mentioned again. And that just really frustrated me because, you know, for one thing, I don't like it when characters fall off the face of the planet. But when you open that can of worms and then just walk away from it like it wasn't there in the first place, that really, really bothers me. And I'm going to take another drink. And that's kind of how it was with the whole Artemis Holly thing. Which, yeah, Eoin Colfer said in some interviews that he could never put them together. Which was a whole nother issue for me. I think I wrote about that in my review of the 7th book, about how you're going to disappoint fans either way when you say something like that. But, yeah. It was very frustrating for me, and, I wish there was at least resolution, because, I mean, I don't even care if they're together or not. It's not a big deal to me. I just wanted there to be an answer, instead of just, oh, da-da-da, let's move on with life. I also felt like, other than Artemis, none of the characters really have had a whole lot of, emotional growth, if you will, character growth, like, at all through the whole series. I mean, Holly to an extent, but, you know, other people, it's just like, oh, I'm the same as I always was, and I'm still the same as I always was, and maybe I'm a little bit nicer, but that's about it. And that just really frustrated me, because I like to see growth in a character, and I didn't get that. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop going on about it, but Recommendation as far as I'm concerned. If you have read the other 7 books, which I'm assuming at this point you have, or I've just spoiled a lot for you, I do recommend reading this. Just like, if you're a fan of the series, you should read it because it is the closure of the series and it is part of the story, even if I really didn't like it. But it was probably my second to least favorite book in the series, with the 7th being my least favorite. And, I just wasn't a big fan of it. Now, I want to say again, like I say on all my kind of negative reviews, don't let what I'm saying affect you forming an opinion. If you love this book, then that's fine with me, and tell me about it. I'd love to hear. But it wasn't my book, so that's how I feel. So that's about it for this one. If you want to see the bonus video, which if you have read the book, do watch the bonus video. I've got lots of feelings on this book. It'll be top left, I think. I think I've got this right this week. I got screwed up last week. But yeah, watch it and click the annotation, and once again, there will be spoilers in that for this book. So I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you'll come back for more, and thank you for watching.